It looks like I am live. How do you like that? I'm streaming from Zoom to Facebook today. So, gosh, you never know how technology is going to work. Um, Really interesting. Some changes coming to Facebook so that you're not going to be able to use platforms like this to stream into Facebook, which I find super interesting. Anyway, not here to talk about that today. I'm Suzanne Taylor King, and I am a business coach and life coach for entrepreneurs and business owners. And today I want to talk about a really important topic that kind of came to me while journaling this morning, and that's getting uncomfortable. I'm doing something later today that makes me really uncomfortable, and there's not much that makes me uncomfortable. And I kind of looked at this as an opportunity to face that fear, face that uncomfortableness, and really just move forward to that next level, not only as a human, but in my coaching practice as well. All right, let me just check in on Facebook and make sure we are live. I'm going to share it into my group, the Idea Lab for Entrepreneurs. Um, and let's get this moving here this morning. Really excited about this. Okay, we are now live on my personal page and in the Idea Lab for Entrepreneurs. If you're not in the Idea Lab, please comment below and I'll make sure you get an invitation. So let's dive in to facing the fear, because growth, my friends, starts where your comfort zone stops. This is really, really important to remember, that if you're feeling comfortable all day long in your work or in your personal life, if you're not stretching to get just a little uncomfortable, whether it's in social situations, it's in dating, it's in your relationships, in your parenting, or in your business, why should it be important for you to leave your comfort zone? Because comfort feels good, right? Um, but it's a silent growth killer. It really keeps you stuck. And in order to grow, in order to make more money or have more time off or have a better relationship, you really need to face those new challenges. And this is where working with a coach or a mentor can really help you, because sometimes we're so comfortable, we don't even know how we could push ourselves to that next level. And that's why sometimes these messages are really, really important, not only for my clients, but for the public as well. Just to remember that pushing out of your comfort zone can really get you to that growth zone, because comfort, the next zone after that is fear. And if we don't work through that fear and get to that learning zone, we don't get to the growth zone. Now, granted, you're going to make some mistakes along the way in that learning zone, and that's okay, because as long as you're learning from those mistakes, that's what's really key. All right, so when you try new things, your brain creates new pathways. Let me know in the comments if that makes sense. I'm going to check in on Facebook and check in on the comments. Awesome. Let me just open another tab and check in the Idea Lab. And I feel as though, you know, that growth zone that we're talking about, creating those new pathways, I think that's what I'm addicted to about learning, to be honest. I love the idea of creating new pathways, leaving those old ones behind, creating those new pathways. So think of it as like forging a trail through a forest. There's no trail there, but you have to find your way. I think that's really, really exciting, especially having an innovative and entrepreneurial mindset like I do. I love this idea of helping someone else forge that new path. And the more you do it, the path becomes clearer from comfort to fear to learning to growth. Let me say it again. As you practice, the path to growth becomes clearer. Everybody says they want to scale their business, they want growth, right? But what they don't understand is the leaving the comfort zone to the fear zone to the learning zone to get to the growth zone. You can't skip those steps. And here are some steps to kind of help you get started. You want to start small. Choose one small thing that scares you. For example, a lot of my clients are fearful about reaching out to prospects, either prospects or networking connections, referral partners. They fear being rejected or they don't know what to say. And by starting small, just reach out to one new person today. Make an authentic connection, take it to the DMs, take it to a real conversation. Maybe it's speaking up in Zoom meetings. Do you go to endless networking events trying to grow your business, but you never say a word? Well, listen, if you're not willing to speak up, nobody's going to know who you are. So that's why asking questions is important. That's why taking the lead in the breakout room is important. So start small. Number two, set goals for yourself. Big goals can feel very overwhelming. I like big goals, but I've gotten used to them. So set smaller goals, break them into tiny steps. So if you have the goal of starting a podcast, and you tell me that, besides introducing you to my producer, Jason Croft, I'm going to ask you to start really small and think of the steps to launching a podcast, deciding what you want to talk about. And Jason has a great coaching program that helps you do that. But breaking those bigger goals, I'm going to start a blog. Well, what are the steps? What's the blog going to be about? What's the newsletter going to be about? Is it going to be on LinkedIn? Is it going to be on your website? Are you going to email? There's so many decisions to make, and break those little decisions up into steps. Listen, if you're going to run a marathon, start with training for a 30-minute run. Get running every day. I don't care. It's from the couch to the mailbox. At least get started. Find a partner for this. This is really important. My business bestie, Denise, David George Brooke, they all are on their own growth journey parallel to me at the same time. We're not in competition, but we can bounce ideas off of each other. We can talk about our goals. We can get held accountable. And it's really, really important. Celebrate wins. That's why I post at least once a week about celebrating your wins. Celebrate them. Share a client success story. Share a success story of your own. And it really, really makes a big difference for your followers who are watching what you're doing. So by sharing your own success, you're actually encouraging people to reach out to you. It could be a conversation starter for strangers. So if you're brave enough and you're here watching in the Idea Lab or on my personal page, share in the comments below something kind of braggy about you. Share a win, share a client success story, share how you did a rock star job at a talk or connecting with someone, and share that in the comments so we can all love on you a little bit. Now, lastly, and this is the step most people forget in the fear, learning, growth journey, reflection. After each time you step out of your comfort zone, even just a little, take the time to reflect, write, journal, what went well, what lesson did I learn, and really, really listen. This can be transformational because leaving your comfort zone isn't about being reckless or making stupid mistakes or over investing in your business, hiring 5 coaches at a time or trying to do 6 online courses at one time. That's not what this is about. The reflection process lets you know and seal in the learning. Those challenges need to be controlled. So, all day, every day, we're bombarded with offers here online. 5-day challenge here, 3-day challenge here, take my webinar, listen to my stuff all day long. And you could literally be busy all day long going to other people's stuff. I'm going to say it again. If you're new to entrepreneurship and you think you need to learn so many different things, learn one thing at a time. Because honestly, if you spend your entire workday going to other people's stuff, and I know who you are because we've all done it, take a look at your calendar today. And if it's full of other people's events, other people's networking, other people's workshops and learning, then you're not getting out of your comfort zone and doing stuff for yourself. Okay, how do we make this really work for you at the nitty-gritty level? I'm going to tell you, this is what I do and recommend for all of my clients. Number one, learn a new skill and pick one skill to learn and go deep on that skill. Emails, webinars, workshops for 30 days and only learn that skill. Unsubscribe or put those other emails somewhere else, right? If you want to learn AI, spend 30 days going deep on just that. And that's what I'm doing right now. You'll be blown away at how much there actually is to learn. If you're nervous about networking, like many of my clients are, it's because they're looking at networking as transactional. How can I go there and get those people to want to buy from me? And Daniel Andrews teaches this brilliantly in his Ninja network building skills. But you really don't want to look at networking that way. It's actually, how can I meet more people and have more people aware of what I do so I can be aware of what they do and get people interconnected? All right. If you're really nervous about networking and you need an introduction, let me know in the comments. Healthy living. Listen, I'm a huge fan. I was a health coach when I first started my career as a coach. Getting outside, exercise, water, your nutrition, your sleep, number one as an entrepreneur. And if you're not doing those things, push out of your comfort zone there first so that your business can go to that next level. Financial discipline. This is key. Put it on your calendar to check in on your finances for an hour once a week. Where am I at? What am I spending? What's coming in? What's going out? And listen, I avoided that like that freaking plague for years. But when I finally started paying attention to the numbers and what I was actually spending trying to learn random things, I was able to focus in, spend less, and earn more. Give your money the attention that it deserves. And lastly, read more. By reading more, I read a book a week, typically on the same topic for 30 days. For example, I have a book upstairs that I read before I go to bed that's all about the art of creativity from Rick Rubin. It's amazing. And it's more about artistic creativity, but it still applies to being a creative visionary entrepreneur. So I read that at night before I go to bed. Try to stay away from business books before I go to bed. I don't need to be dreaming of funnels. So reading that at night. In the morning, I spend about 30 minutes reading with my coffee when I first get up before I exercise. And I'm reading another book all about creative activities I could do with my clients to get them inspired and with my group of coaches. Really, really fun, great book. And so I'm learning about the same topic from two different perspectives. And this is what we're going to be doing in my book club. I'm bringing back my book club. So that's really exciting. Let me know if you're interested in hearing more about that. So listen, we got to be vulnerable. We need to get out of our comfort zone. And if you're looking to do that with a coach, I'm going to recommend these steps first. Number one, Brene Brown's talk about the power of vulnerability. Really good. I'll share that in the comments below. And also, there's a book called The Comfort Crisis by Michael Easter. It's a book about how we are really becoming way too comfortable in our society and how to get out of that comfort zone. So, let me just check in on Facebook and see how we're doing. I think we were stuttering just a little bit. Doesn't look like anybody. Let me know if you're here live tuning in so I can see if we are actually still live on Facebook and in my group. All right, cool. It looks like we're still live. So if you have any questions, if you're catching the replay of this video, put hashtag replay. And I haven't done this Zoom to Facebook thing in a while. I'll see how it works and see if it's any different than going live natively on Facebook or using StreamYard. Always be testing, always be looking at your numbers, and always be pushing out of that comfort zone to a little bit of fear. And let me know how you make out. I'm Suzanne Taylor King, and I will talk to you soon.